now.
Good evening, people. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Hope you all had a nice Easter and a Good Friday. We did. We had company this weekend. Still have company this week. They drove in from Tennessee last week. And, excuse me, Daryl's going to play with my mic. Are you done?
I hope so.
Do I need it any closer to my mouth?
That depends on how loud you talk.
Okay, it's not like a lollipop, though.
Could be.
Or anything else, for that matter. So anyway, yeah. So we have, our guests are still here. Country Girl Dawn and Andy is here. They're both from Tennessee. Well, Dawn actually started in Texas. And it's Andy started
another T state.
Another T state, yeah. And Andy started in Alabama. They're both now Tennessee folks. So they are here to cheer on our guest, another fellow Buckeye. We met her a couple months ago in person, became fast friends, and I twisted her arm and said, come on our live stream. No, I didn't. She's being, yeah, really. Don't tempt me, Dee is saying to you, Daryl. Don't tempt me. Yep, I did, Dee. I did. Mm-hmm. And no one's in here to add to it. Did you notice that? So anyway, let's, hey there, Courtney. How are you, kiddo? Let's go ahead and bring her out and put her in the hot seat.
So we're now,
she is nervous as all get out.
We are now switching to Southern Ohio.
We're now switching to Southern Ohio. Sort of Southern Ohio.
Sort of Southern.
Yeah, yeah.
More Southern than what we are.
Well, that's true.
So, you think we should bring her out or just let her?
Well, we got her on the screen, but let's.
She's making faces.
Well, and I think Cupcake's in the bedroom, so he's not even sitting there with her.
Okay, well, here she is. Say hi, well, you're live.
I'm in the hot seat.
Yep.
Or maybe Memorex. Or are you too young to remember that?
Yeah.
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 Oh, well, there we go. So this is Jessica, Keto Homestead with Jess. And she just hit her 1,000 subscribers. She still needs some watch hours to get monetized. Hey there, Heaven's Gates Cherry Farm. How's Michigan today? It was beautiful in Ohio today. Friday, it was like freezing in our 20s, and today it's 70.
Courtney's husband.
Yeah, that's how he signs on.
Okay.
That's Wide Family Farm.
Well, I was gathering that.
Yep. Yeah, Dawn said they're leaving tomorrow. It's going to be warm here, and they're going to be freezing down in Tennessee. Welcome to the state of Ohio. So what's going on new with you, Miss Jessica?
Oh, lots of stuff. I've been working behind the scenes on my channel, trying to revamp it, and it's going to be a huge surprise. I'm going to have a coming out party.
I've heard of those coming out parties.
Wait a minute. I didn't set the adult theme for tonight.
So when is your coming out party going to happen?
Oh, as soon as I have everything done. I don't know. I don't have an expected date yet. There's some more brains I need to pick.
I'm not going there. So tell us about Keto Homestead, if you would. What's the meaning behind Keto Homestead? Where'd it come from? What's your story?
Well, I started homesteading with my husband about 10 years ago. And then about 8 years ago, I started doing keto to try to lose weight. I started out at 296 pounds, and I dropped down to 150. Since I was already homesteading and providing most of my food, I just figured I'd incorporate that together. And that's how I created Keto Homestead with Jess.
So that sounds like quite the accomplishment. How long did it take for you to lose that much weight?
It took me a year.
Well, that's still quite a bit of weight to lose in a year, isn't it?
Yeah. And I incorporated a lot of intermittent fasting as well.
Okay, when you say fasting, is that like
Just what it sounds. Just what it sounds like. No, not 10 minutes, dear.
No, I made it easy on myself. I would eat dinner by 5 or 6 o'clock, and then I would fast during the time I slept, and then I wouldn't eat my first meal until 11. Anywhere between 10, 11, or 12, depending on how long I wanted to fast.
Okay, so I like the way you said that. So in other words, while you're sleeping, you can be fasting.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds easy.
Yeah, it is.
I would hate to spill my meals while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, and I tried to fast during the day in the beginning, and it was just extremely difficult because I'm an eater and I like to eat. So if I'm awake, that's what I'm thinking about.
So, and I'm curious. I'm sure that obviously we don't tell people how to do things like that. You should always consult with your physician and other professionals. But it's still a fascinating story. So what prompted you into the keto lifestyle? I mean, is this something you read about?
I was a nurse's aide in nursing home, and I was really overweight, and it was really hard. I was on my feet 16 to 19 hours a day, and just being that heavy was really hard to get around. So that's what prompted me.
So are you still doing nurse's aide?
No, I'm not. I did nursing for 20 years, and I blew out my discs in my back, so I gave that up and came to YouTube.
There you go. Okay. So what kind of hobbies do you have, Jess?
Homesteading. No, I like to bake a lot. I like to cook my keto foods and be real creative and come up with new recipes. And then I like to spend a lot of time in my garden and a lot of time with my animals. And that pretty much takes up all my time.
Well, somebody said they could just barely hear me, so maybe that's a little better. Explain to me exactly what you mean by keto.
It's a low carb. It's like a low carb lifestyle. Keto is low fat, moderate protein, and high fat, moderate protein, and low carb. So in my lifestyle, I only consume 20 carbs a day, and those are natural carbs. And then I just eat a lot of animal fats and a little bit of protein.
So when you say animal fat, this is like bacon?
Not necessarily bacon. There is a little bit of fat in bacon, but I'm more talking about olive oils, coconut oils, MCT oils, butter, avocados, things like that.
Oh, so you're talking all liquid oils?
Not all. Avocado isn't liquid. So yeah, nuts. There's a lot of healthy fats in nuts as well.
Okay. So is this recipes you picked up off of a book? I mean, do you have books you recommend to people, or?
No, I don't do any books. I've done all the research myself. When I first started keto 8 years ago, there wasn't much information out there. I really had to dig and learn on my own. And then the more popular keto became, I come across a chiropractor on YouTube that I really enjoyed. His name was Dr. Berg, and I really hardcore followed him and really learned a lot from him. But as far as the recipes and stuff, that's all from trial and error on my own end.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting. I guess I find it fascinating. This is something so everything that you learned about the keto, you picked up off the internet and just applied it to yourself, and you had the gumption to stick with it. And did you see results right away or something? I mean, what?
No, it was really hard in the beginning. Like I said, there wasn't much information out there. Now they have all kinds of cool stuff. They have macro calculators to see how much fat you want to consume or protein and carbs a day. back then I didn't have that. So when I first started, I was really frustrated. There was times where I was ready to pull my hair out. I couldn't understand why it didn't work for me. And it came down to because I wasn't incorporating the numbers properly into my diet. Once I was able to do that, then I didn't really lose pounds. I lost inches before I ever did pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jess, there's a question here from Jujubee. What's in your keto shake?
My keto shake, I do a handful of spinach and anywhere from 2 to 3 handfuls of kale, heavy whipping cream, 2 strawberries, a tablespoon of coconut oil, and a tablespoon of stevia. And then I will blend that up. And then once that's all blended, then I will add ice.
Ooh.
Yeah, you said kale and spinach, and that just did it right there. Didn't have to do the rest.
Well, the strawberries really help out with the taste. The strawberries and the stevia. But I've been drinking that kale shake for it's been years since I've been drinking it. So it's normal to me. My taste buds have really adjusted to it.
Yeah, if I didn't have any, it'd probably be good.
And how much cream in there, Jess?
About 1/4 of a cup.
No, Jujubee. The only time I can get him to eat spinach is if it's hidden in a salad or if I make it in an omelet. That's about it. Which is what we had to do with my father. It had to be hidden.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Daryl was thinking bacon. Oh, yes, let's do keto. Bacon, bacon, bacon.
I just read that one.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so most people don't know that keto, technically you're supposed to consume 7 to 10 cups of vegetables a day. So that's where I ended up starting to incorporate that kale spinach shake so I could get more vegetables in.
7 to 10 cups of vegetables a day.
Mm-hmm.
And these are 4-ounce cups, right?
Yes.
4-ounce cups?
No, not 4 ounce.
I don't think she caught on to that one yet.
It's an 8-ounce cup, Daryl. Don't throw me off like that.
Just checking. Just checking. Seeing if your measurements are the same down there as what they are up here.
Can you see my face turning red?
Well, congratulations to your accomplishments on doing that. I think it's absolutely wonderful you were able to do that for yourself.
Thank you.
So, have you ever considered memorializing that in some sort of a book type thing? Here's how I did keto, or something like that you could turn around and perhaps even make a little profit from.
I've thought about it. I haven't really dug into it or anything. I'm really concentrating on the YouTube thing right now, trying to build that up. And then maybe, once I'm good on YouTube, then maybe I would consider doing it.
Well, let's talk about that. I know you do a lot of live streams, and please forgive me. I mean, we're subscribed to a lot of channels,
mm-hmm.
and I don't have time to watch everybody. I truly don't. But I see you on lives numerous times, and it doesn't seem like you're talking about homesteading or keto.
No. So
is your channel?
No, they're playing Pictionary.
Yeah, Pictionary and playing other things. Anyway, is there a good meat substance of keto in your channel? I mean, do you have like playlists of different recipes and things like that for people that might have an interest?
Yes, there's lots of recipes. There's a lot of good information on how to start keto in my videos. My live stream, I haven't really taken seriously. I've just been playing around on live streams and gaining watch hours through that.
Okay.
But this is part of my channel that I'll be reinventing. So.
Okay.
see where this goes.
Okay.
And then also, me and Sherry will be live this month on, I believe it's the 17th. Yes, we'll be live on the 17th for our keto bake-off.
You baking keto?
I'm doing more low carb. Mine's a mixture, but I have more high protein because of my surgery. I have to have the protein.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's different levels of protein within keto.
Yes. There's several different types of keto.
So this is the thing. How does one know?
You have to do your research. You have to find what works for you.
So you use yourself as a guinea pig.
Pretty much,
well,
but
yeah,
isn't that
just
what
like
doctors
anything
do?
else? Yeah.
So what happens if it goes the wrong way?
Well, I'd rather be consuming real foods than consuming medication. But that's personal.
Well,
I don't think there's as much of a risk consuming natural foods than there is any other way.
Okay. But I guess somebody told me that with keto, you can pretty much eat as much as you want, but just in certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're supposed to eat until you're full. It's not a starvation lifestyle at all.
Okay.
And if you're consuming what you're supposed to be consuming on keto, your body will eventually your stomach will grow smaller. You won't be as hungry. If you're intermittent fasting, that will help also boost your metabolism.
Well, this intermittent fasting, I guess my idea of fasting and how you described it are not at all alike. So let me run this by you again. You kind of indicated that you fast after dinner at night for the night, and you don't eat again until the next morning.
Right.
So in other words, you're just not getting up for snacks at 10 o'clock at night and midnight and 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning. Is that what you mean by fasting?
Yes.
Oh, hell, I can do that.
Okay. You gonna start that tomorrow morning or tonight? So should I remove that bag of Cheez-Its that's sitting there on your keyboard?
Probably.
You opened your mouth, dear. Either get the shovel or you can get some dirt.
Well, I mean, by her definition, you stop eating and you fast until the next time you eat. Jess, you better help me out with this.
No, she's loving it. I can see it on her face. No.
I can't help you with the Cheetos. I don't know nothing about Cheetos.
Yeah, he has Cheez-Its, but he also has the Cheeto Puff sitting at the kitchen table.
Camp Patton family compound. Beef is plant-based. What?
That's because beef eats plants.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when I see these plant burgers, I get scared and run the other way.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a vegetarian. So if keto was vegetarian, there's no way I'd survive.
Oh yeah, I like my meat, my fowl, my fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I made sure everybody had meat yesterday, ham and spare ribs.
12 hours or so without eating.
Yes.
Yeah.
The longer you can fast, the better.
Okay.
What change, Jess, Albany Mountain Homestead, which is Amanda, what changes have you noticed with your overall health since changing to keto? Health issues prior to keto?
Well, prior to keto, I was pre-diabetic and they were trying to put me on insulin. I had high blood pressure that they were trying to treat. And what else? I had a lot of inflammation. So since going on keto, I was able to not take any of those medications. I was able to bring my insulin levels down, my A1C levels, and my blood pressure came down, and obviously I lost the weight that could help me move around and be more active.
Okay, well let's get away from the keto stuff.
Okay.
All right, done with keto. No more keto for a while anyway. We're fasting from keto. Tell us about your homestead. How many acres do you have? How many animals do you have? What are your daily chores? You work from sun up to sundown and walk 5 miles to school every day uphill.
No. I have 5 acres, and here we raise hogs. I have New Hampshire hogs and Tamworth hogs. We breed those in the spring and have piglets every year. We also have 2 milk cows. Well, I have 1 milk cow now. We lost one recently. I have a La Mancha goat, doe, and I have a bunch of Muscovy ducks, Peking ducks. I have a turkey, and I have my meat rabbits. I have quail, chickens. I think that's it. And then my dogs, of course. I have a Great Pyrenees, and then my house dog is a Husky mix.
But you don't eat those.
The dogs?
Huh?
You don't eat the dogs, though, right?
No.
Okay.
Good Lord. Run, Smudge, run.
Well, I didn't know if they had Chinese down that way or not.
That's cats, not dogs.
Good Lord. Okay.
Eric, you take care of yourself, kidlet.
All
So
right.
the chores work. I do the chores in the morning, feed and water the animals, and then in the evening my husband does the watering and feeding.
Well, I know that we've had the opportunity to visit with you, for, at least wasn't a short, limited time. We were there for a minute.
A minute or two.
Yeah. Nothing lengthy. And you did walk us around a little bit. You got a beautiful property down that way. But you also you're in an area where it's prone to flooding from time to time.
Yes.
And I bet that could present some challenges.
Oh yeah, it does. We have floods every spring. We have a creek that runs behind our property, but we also have a spring, and it floods in the spring every year, so we have to move all the animals to high ground. So it is very challenging. It's about once every 2 years we have to replace all the fencing because the floods are so strong that they wipe out all of our fencing. So it is a challenge.
Okay, so just from the high water and stuff, it softens up the ground enough that the poles and the current, as it recedes, it kind of pulls it down with the weeds and stuff. Cool. Okay.
But the good thing about that is my soil in my garden is amazing.
Okay. So do you grow just for your family, or you participate in some farmers markets?
No, farmers markets aren't available or aren't affordable around here, so we just grow for ourselves.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, you've got some Amish in your area as well, do you not?
Yes, we do.
And you have any Amish friends that you pick up tips and tricks from?
Yes, we do have one Amish family that we are friends with, and we sometimes trade recipes, and if my cow is out of milk, then I will go up them and barter with them for milk.
Well, to me, it's a fascinating culture. I know some Amish people up here. I just find it very interesting. They're very sharing type of people.
Yes, they are.
And they're full of information. And every now and then you can understand what they say if they decide to not talk German and they speak English. But all right. So what's your favorite thing to grow on your homestead there?
Food.
Yeah, all of it. I'm a veggie baby. I love vegetables, so I'm in the garden all summer long. So I can't say a favorite one. I like it all.
Like it all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let me open this up here. Folks, I got the phone lines are now open. If you'd like to call in and talk to Jess directly or talk to us, I'm not scared. Jess may be, but I'm not scared. So the phone number's scrolling across the top. Just feel free to call in. It's your nickel. We'll get you connected as soon as possible. So is there any more questions? I'm not seeing any here.
Nope, I haven't seen any.
Get this other window up. There we go. All right.
Cooks aren't allowed on keto.
Well, maybe we can get Miss Courtney to call in, or somebody else here. Maybe Christy Betts. Who knows? Or Gil. Feel free to give her a call. You know a couple people out here. So what's your plans on your homestead for this year? Any big projects coming up?
Yes, we're going to be redoing the hog pen this year. I want to work on a greenhouse, and we have to put a new fence up. And then I'm trying to learn more about seed saving. So I really want to learn how to do seed saving on harder plants like your kale and your spinach and things like that.
Well, I know when we stopped down, I thought I heard some mumbling about maybe wanting to do some work on the original house on the homestead there.
Yeah, we would like to get that done too. There's so many projects on the homestead.
I mean, I would think that you've got some YouTube gold in that house there as far as fixing it up.
Yeah.
So does is your husband capable of doing that kind of stuff? Some of that kind of stuff?
Some of it. The wiring and things like that in the house would be a little difficult because it's the old tape wiring. So all that wiring in that house needs to be torn out and redone. So,
how old is the house?
Oh, it was built in 1900.
Okay.
So that house has been here for a very long time.
So what? Getting back to your property there, what you say you want to put up some fence this year, redo some fence. Do you do any? How do I say this? Do you do any farming down there where you grow some hay and grains and stuff for your animals?
No, there's not much. 5 acres isn't really much to grow. We do grow corn for the animals a little bit, but we barter for hay. We will trade work for hay for our winter. So I should say my husband, I just get to sit on the tractor, but they get to he goes up and rakes the hay and helps turn it and bale it and everything like that throughout the hay season. And then for exchange, we just get round bales of hay.
Okay, and we have a phone caller here, so let me get him in the room. Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
It's me, Courtney.
Well, hi, Courtney.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, just fine. You are live and on the air.
Hey, Jess, how are you?
Hey, Courtney, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm calling in to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Now, don't hold back.
Specifically about keto.
Yeah, don't hold back now. Make her earn her keep here tonight.
So, okay, for an average person, specifically me and myself, I know you said you never go out to eat, but how does one, when they go out to eat, how does one calculate, their keto? How do you do that? Because, like, say for instance, people are busy out there, and they're doing this, they're doing that, and they're working. How do you calculate that?
I would just say to try to stay away from as much processed foods as possible. But when I was working and when I was first doing keto, what I would do is I would swing into Wendy's or something like that, and I would just eat a junior bacon cheeseburger without the bun. And by doing that, I was still losing weight. If I went out to like a restaurant, I would just do, my meat and my salad, or a meat and some type of vegetable.
So you could just order steak and like some broccoli, or, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wondered how you would do that, because, people are out there and they're, they work every day, and sometimes they don't have time for food prep. They don't have time for that. So I was just curious how one would do that, and that makes sense about the fast food. So,
and nowadays, since keto is so popular and low carb is so popular, a lot of places have converted over to keto or low carb. So you can go to like Crino's Firehouse Pizza, and they have cauliflower pizza now, or cauliflower crust pizza, and I know Chipotle has also went over to keto and low carb. So there's options out there.
That sounds good. That sounds awesome. So, okay, you were talking about before about your cows and stuff, and did you get your fence? Did you get that fixed yet?
No, we're still working on it.
I was just curious. All right. Well, I'm just calling to support you, and just getting on here and telling everybody how much I love you. And
well, thank you.
And good luck tonight, and I'll talk to you later. Bye,
all right,
family.
Bye.
See you, Courtney.
Bye.
Bye, Courtney. Okay, and that's how easy it is to call in. Numbers scrolling across the top of the screen there. Just call in and put in your meeting ID number. Just follow the prompts, and it'll stick you in a waiting room, and we'll let you in the room. So, do you have your garden started for this year?
I have my peas out, and I have my cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts out. But that's all I have in the garden.
Do you have a greenhouse, or do you do any seed starting inside either the barns or your house? Or
yeah, I start them in the house. I have very limited space, so I don't have much space. That's why I want to start a greenhouse this year. But for now, I have a second bedroom, and I use half of that room for a little grow room.
Okay. So you got tomatoes planted, and cabbage, and broccoli, and peppers, and all that stuff, all growing in the bedroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Jess, they're asking what happened to your cow.
I had to move my cows to neighbors because the flood wiped out our fence. And recently, my oldest cow, she's 4 years old, she slipped and fell and broke her pelvic. So we had to put her down. Yeah.
Well,
it was really tough because I've had her since she was 3 days old, and I bottle fed her. So that one was a tough one.
But in a situation like that, you could harvest the meat, could you not?
Yes, and we did.
Okay, good.
You found somebody to do it for you?
Well, that's one thing most people don't know about me. I worked in a butcher shop for many years, and a deer shop, and I have friends. The guy that owns it, he actually used to be a coworker with me he moved up in the butchering world and ended up buying that shop. So I was very lucky. I could just call him on his personal phone, and he was able to fit me in. So
you actually got to go in and cut it up yourself.
I didn't this time, but I could have if I wanted to. I couldn't do it with this one.
Okay. All right. Well, that's very interesting. I certainly didn't know that. We have another caller here, so let me get him in the room. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hey, this is Sarah from the Big Blue House Homestead.
Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Hey, Sarah.
I'm good. How are you?
Real good. Jess is on the phone. She's hearing you, so you are live, and just go for it.
All right. Hey, how's it going, Jess?
Good. How are you?
I'm really good. I thought I would call in and show my support and ask you a couple questions. I wanted to know, what type of tomatoes are you planting this year?
Oh, I have a whole bunch of them out there. I've got the German pink tomatoes. I don't even know what all I planted. Of course, I have my Roma and my San Marzetti. But I'm not good with names of tomatoes yet. But I have a bunch in there planted. I did a 72 cell tray of tomatoes.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you did a video about your seed sprouts, seed start, and I didn't get a chance to comment back and, talk to you on there. But I've seen that you've got a lot going on. I mean, you are really growing a lot this year. Do you have a big enough garden to hold all of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have one side of the property is basically nothing but garden. I have my vegetable garden, and then I also have a section planned off, and it is nothing but a berry garden. So there's lots of space. Cool.
So what size do you think your garden really is?
Oh, I would say at least 1/4 of an acre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you plan on doing a lot of canning videos this year to show us how to, can up a lot of those vegetables that you're growing?
Oh, yeah. I'm a canner for sure. All summer long from about 6 o'clock in the morning until midnight, I'm usually canning.
Well, good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm super nervous. I've never called in, and so it's kind of odd for me. And I've never talked to Jess on live or, in person like this.
You're doing just
But
fine.
I wanted to call in and show my support because Jess is a wonderful person. If you guys do not follow her, please go check her channel out.
Thank you, Sarah. That's awesome.
Sure.
You're welcome.
Sir, you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. Don't be nervous.
I'm nervous, too.
Well, it's hard for me, too, because I don't have internet, so I don't have good connections with people unless, I catch you at certain times when it's not raining or there's no, issues with the cell tower. So it's really hard for me sometimes. But I'm just wanting to reach out and say hello and see how you're doing and see what you're doing in your garden this year.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully, everything will grow and we'll have tons of canning videos.
Well, good. Hey, did your chives come back this year? Because last year you had ginormous chives plants.
Yeah, they're back. They're already probably 2-3 inches tall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really proud of those chives. They're enormous every year. They just get bigger and bigger.
Now, how long have they been growing in your garden?
5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are 2 years old, and they're just a couple inches high this year. They're barely even making it through. But you have good soil compared to me, so you definitely have a better growing medium.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that the floodwaters really help. It turns up the soil for me and puts all kinds of minerals and sand and stuff in the soil from the creek. So
yeah,
that's a goal this year. Like I've told you before, I really want to get into the nitty gritty of learning about gardening because I don't really know much about gardening. I just know I can throw seeds in the ground and it pops up. and I harvest.
Yeah, well, you do awesome. I mean, just awesome putting seeds in the ground. You know, a lot of us claim to be gardeners and try super hard, and then we look at your chives and they're the size of our house. And so it's not fair to us who have like 2-inch, tall chives, and you have ginormous ones.
Well, thank you. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, and you were talking about wanting to save seeds this year, and I'm very passionate about saving seeds. It's one of the things that I have been doing probably longer than I've been doing gardening. So, yeah, if you ever have any questions or need help with anything, I'm going to try to do a lot of videos this year to share. But, yeah, just reach out and let me know if you need some help learning how to save some seeds, because I can definitely give you some information.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
And go ahead and tell everybody what your channel is here as well, so they can so everybody can check you out too.
All right, I'm Sarah, and my channel is the Big Blue House Homestead. And I know it's a long name, but just the Big Blue House Homestead. And I just do gardening and a lot of seed saving, some canning, and a lot of recipe sharing. Haven't been on very long, but I enjoy interacting and meeting people, and people like Jess and Courtney and Two Family Homestead. I mean, these are amazing people to be able to reach out to and talk to. And so I'm enjoying what I'm learning and what I'm experiencing, and just being on YouTube now.
Okay. So, sir, you got any more questions for her?
No, I think I'm good. I just wanted to show my support and say hello.
I was going to say, I think we're going too easy on her here.
Well, you want me to ask some hard questions?
Well, yeah. Let's make her work for it.
All right, Jess, what is the hardest thing that you have ever canned?
How about a failure? Because everything's pretty much easy for me. I haven't really had a hard thing to can, but I did try to start messing around with like canning keto recipes, and there was a lot of like bread recipes. I don't know if you've ever seen the bread in a jar recipe. People can different bread recipes in a jar in the oven.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try that with my almond flour, and that was an utter fail.
Oh, no. No, you can cream cheese. I think that is amazing. I have only seen a couple people do that. That is really neat that you can actually can cream cheese.
Yeah, and I love it. And people always ask me, like, why would you can cream cheese? It's, not expensive. It's readily available. Like, why would you can cream cheese? The reason I started doing it is because I'm a lazy baker, and I hate laying out cream cheese to try to soften it to make cheesecake. And that's where that idea came from. I'm like, what if I could can cream cheese and put it on the shelf, and then I'd never have to wait for it to, soften up to room temperature. So
that's a good idea.
I never thought about that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So that's where that idea came from, and now I've been canning cream cheese probably 4 years now. So, it stays safe on the shelf. I haven't had any issue.
And you just water bath can it?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Especially when Aldi's has it on sale.
And that's exactly where I get my cream cheese.
There's a question in the chat here. It says, can you defrost frozen meat and raw pack it?
I have.
Yeah. I had to think about that for a minute. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. You can definitely do that.
My initial thought is yes, you can, because it has to be pressure canned.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's going to cook it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you go because I actually am heading to bed here soon. But I enjoyed talking to you, and I will talk to you soon. And thank you for having me on the show, you guys.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks for calling in. Jujubi said,
Bye.
Jujubi said that she sent her husband canned cupcakes to Afghanistan.
Yeah, it works with regular flour, but not with almond flour.
Oh, wait a minute. Does this mean you have a baked cupcake and you drop that into a jar and can it? Am I seeing this
No, you mix the batter in the jar, or at least from what I've seen. I don't know about her recipe, but typically you would make the recipe in the jar and then you would oven can it.
I've made brownies. You mix the batter, put them in a canning jar, and bake them. Mm-hmm. Put the lid on, and it seals, and you're done. Okay. It's shelf ready.
Now, Fish and Loaves Life has mentioned something here. It says, "Oh, good, I need to do cold pack methods because of Malachi. Malachi? The hot jars and such are scary." Well,
Carol, I'm not sure what you mean by cold pack.
Yeah,
if you're going to do meat, you're going to want to do it in your pressure canner. Yeah, that's true. Jujube, pre-made sealed frosting. Yeah, any of that stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Chris is asking me. He says, "I want to know if and how you got your husband this April Fool's." Chris, I hands down gave Barrett this April Fool's because this is the first time that he's ever scared me in 11 years and got me on April Fool's. So I let him have the win this year.
How did he do that?
I was on a live and he went out the back door of our trailer, came out we've got a window on the left side of me here, and then I have a window at the right side of me. But the one on the right side of me is facing me. So when he went out the back side of the door, I didn't hear him. And I was busy concentrating on the live, and I seen this big white blur go past the window. And I'm like, what was that? I didn't know what it was. So I got up and looked out the back door, and I didn't see anything. And my dog was barking, going crazy. And I'm like, I kind of got cold chills, I'm like, ugh. I just shut the door and came back to my life. And next thing, I sat down and I started talking to him. I'm like, I don't know what that was. Next thing I know, there's two eyeballs staring at me from the right side of my window. I screamed a blood-curdling scream. It was horrible. I probably broke the speakers on somebody's computer out there. I screamed so bad. It took me a good 5 minutes to calm down after that. He got me good.
I'm just answering a post here. Daryl's wanting to cough. He coughed so hard the other day he either pulled a muscle or broke a rib. We're not quite sure yet.
Cool.
But yeah, he's been hurting since Saturday morning. But Mari, our prayers are with you, and like I said, if you need me, I always have those broad shoulders if you need somebody to chat with. But so what we have, let's talk about our challenge we have going. We have a monthly keto low carb challenge that we started last month. Mm-hmm. And it's open to everyone. If you'd like to do a video, upload your video and let Jess and myself know so we can add you to the playlist. We will put up our video what did we decide, the second Wednesday of the month?
Yeah, it'll be the second Wednesday of the month. So we will put our video out Saturday the 10th.
And then your video will need to be to us by the next Wednesday. Correct?
No, Friday the 16th.
Friday. That's right. I'm
Friday
sorry.
The 16th.
And then we will do a live, and there will be prizes given out.
And this month's prize will be from Tupperware. So I'm not sure exactly what that prize will be, but it is from Tupperware. And what else? The live will be on your channel this month.
Yes. Yes, it will. Yes. And I have somebody donating spices that they made spices, and I think they're in the mail. So down the road we'll have some spices to give away, and we hope it grows. It's an open challenge to everyone. It's for everyone. Period. Doesn't matter where you are. Unfortunately, Some of these prizes are continental U.S. only. There will be ones for overseas in the future. But right now what we have on hand will be continental U.S. due to shipping. That's all. I had one of our subscribers sent me tulip bulbs from Holland. U.S. Customs opened them up when they came here. Took them. I got an empty box.
Oh.
Yeah. Took everything in the box.
Yeah. You're not allowed to ship the seed. If they get through and you don't get caught, you're okay. But
well, some of them you can ship seeds. This was the actual tulip bulb, and he put that on there because he shipped seeds to Lippy, and she got them. So, yeah, it's crazy. Hey there, Bigfoot Prepper. Glad to have you here. Greenwich, haven't seen you in a long time.
Hey, Bigfoot Prepper.
And Recyclable Homestead, welcome.
Hello.
The phone line is open if you want to call in and talk to Jess, ask her any questions, put her on the spot. Christy used to be a Tupperware lady.
Oh.
I still use my Tupperware. Just too darn expensive now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So what else do we have for Jeff? Jess? What other questions do you have, Mr. Darrell? Listen, I was talking like Andy.
Well, I don't know if I have any other questions for her tonight on her property there. I think she's done a great job here this evening. I know she was nervous. I get nervous every time we go to start a live, so it takes me a while to calm down here.
Yep. Yes, Carol says that happened with my daughter's Ipsy bag. They opened it up, took everything but a pamphlet, and sealed it up. Yep. Yeah, and they didn't even seal this, Dawn, I can turn around and smack you for that. You know that.
Go buy your wallet.
But thank you. Country Girl is sitting behind me. For those that don't know, Country Girl and Andy came up from Tennessee last week, and we have had a blast this past weekend.
Wow.
Rural Ridge has been doing keto for 3 years.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
Yes. Oh, Gary, by all means, join our challenge. Andy, don't get me in trouble here. Well, that's good that you lost 12, 14 pounds. I mean, before I had my surgery, I started with keto, so I know it works. One of the drawbacks sometimes with keto, especially with women, I'm sure would be for men, is hair loss. Because of the way you start eating, you can lose your hair. So between that and my surgery, I am now taking calcium and biotin and vitamin B and doing everything not to do that. Yeah.
I just let mine go.
You just let yours go? Oh, okay.
And that's a funny thing. Like, keto affects everybody differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people talk about having keto flu or losing their hair. And I never experienced that. My husband didn't experience that. And I'm just curious if that was because we both consume lots of pickles and pickle juice. We never experienced any of those things.
Yeah, well, I've never experienced the keto flu or any of that. And pickle juice, for those that don't know, is great if you have muscle spasms in your legs. Mm-hmm. Pickle juice will take care of it, strangely enough. Chris's Clever Craft is asking if you have fruit or nut trees on your land.
I do. I have black walnut. I have butternut, chestnut, and hickory nut.
Cool. And Country Girl's asking, when doing your fast, is water allowed?
Yeah, but water would be fine, but I don't because I'm sleeping during that time, so.
So do you have any designated fruit trees on your property as a permaculture setup? Like apple orchard or grapevines or pear trees?
Well, we don't have like permaculture, but we have an apple tree that's been here since Barrett's parents planted it. And then we also have a grapevine that has been here since they planted it. And that's where all the nut trees come from too. They planted all of those and established them.
Okay.
Yeah, Mama Z, me too. It's funny how my tastes have changed because I could eat dill pickles are my favorite, and especially hamburger dills. And my taste buds have changed considerably since my surgeries. I had to go through quite a few jars of pickles to find some that I love. But yeah, I'll just cut up some and that'll be my snack. What is your favorite fat bomb?
I would say I make a fat bomb as like a Reese's cup. It tastes just like a Reese's cup. And yeah, those are really good.
How do you make them?
Well, I can't tell you that. That's a future video. With peanut butter and chocolate.
Just like a Reese's cup.
It's a keto style Buckeye.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And I do make keto style Buckeyes too.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Now, how can a keto style Buckeye be different from a regular?
Because you're not using sugar to begin with.
Oh.
And then I use 100% natural peanut butter. Because most of your peanut butters in the store that you get are full of sugar.
Okay. All right. So it's lack of sugar then.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I used to make my own sugar. I used to make my own peanut butter years and years ago when I had my Vitamix.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Was it hard to keep it stirred up and stuff though?
Well, the oils separate, but that's that's no big deal. Just stir it up. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does sugar alcohol affect ketosis?
Yes, it does. It depends. Ooh, that's a good question. Like, it depends on what sugar alcohols you're consuming. If you're consuming sugar alcohols that are artificial, then yeah, that will spike your insulins.
Oh, I've got another question here for you too. Do you have any of that, any elderberries on your property? That's that magic juice.
Yes, I do have 2 huge elderberries.
And do you harvest the elderberries for
I
something
do.
besides wine?
Yes. I don't drink wine, but I make elderberry syrup.
Well, wouldn't that be keto friendly?
Yeah, I guess if I made it with stevia. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I don't consume wine because it gives me a lot of headaches. I've never tried to make homemade natural wine before, so maybe the homemade wine would be a lot different from store-bought wine. I don't know.
Could be.
Carol of Fishes and Loaves Life is asking, what are your favorite keto-safe sweeteners?
I use pure stevia, and then I also grow my own stevia, and that is all I use. I don't use any other sweeteners.
I see here rural something. Rediz 616. The keto ice cream I buy is sweetened with sugar alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay, what is sugar alcohol?
It depends. I would have to read the label, what it says. I've tried really hard to find a keto safe ice cream in the store, but there isn't one out yet. I haven't came across one. So me and my husband, we make our own homemade keto ice cream in our ice cream maker.
From your own cow and...
Normally, yes.
Yeah,
but if we don't have milk, then I will replace it with almond milk.
So let me just run out to the barn here and get a little bit of moo juice for some ice cream tonight.
Yes, it's the best.
I guess we really don't have an answer as to what that is. Sugar alcohol. Somebody says that the keto ice cream that they buy has sugar alcohol. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, there's different types of sugar alcohols. That's why I said I would have to read the label.
Oh, okay. From WT Farm Girl. Fantastic.
I haven't seen her in forever.
Yeah, we had her on a while back.
Yeah, any clear alcohol is normally safe for keto, so moonshine, yeah, that's a go.
It says sugar alcohol are ingredients used as sweeteners and bulking agents. They occur naturally in foods and come from plant products such as fruits and berries. Yep. As a sugar substitute, they provide fewer calories than regular sugar.
And A Fishes in Love's Life is filling us in on the bad parts of it, where they make you poop a lot.
Yeah, they do. And that's the thing. They're artificial sweeteners. There's like the sugar-free candies and things like that. Those are sugar alcohols. And they do spike your insulin, and they do make you go poop.
And yes, Gary, the fermented vegetables, but by all means, and fermented vegetables are awesome for you. So
yes,
mm-hmm.
your kombucha, your milk kefirs, all that fermented stuff is really good for you.
Do you do a lot of that fermented stuff?
I don't. I personally don't like it. I do. The only one I really do are pickles, sauerkraut, and then I do the milk kefir.
Wait a minute. You make this concoction you talked about earlier, and you don't like kombucha?
No. Oh, and I do apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
Limoncello. I have to find a recipe for that, Linda. Since I have just a few lemons now.
So sorbitol is usually a sugar-free candy. It's usually in sugar-free candy. Okay. So, A Fishes in Love's Life, this sorbitol, is this from a plant? Maltitol is the one that makes you poop and spikes your insulin, but is cheap and tasty. We're getting all kinds of information here. But again, is that something from a plant?
Are you asking Jess?
I'm asking anybody in the room, Jess.
Oh, I thought you were asking her. No, I believe what I researched on it is made in a lab. And that's why I go with the stevia, because I know it's a natural herb that I can make myself. It's from a birch tree. Okay. Huh.
Oh, I'll be darned. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I thought it was made in a lab. Maybe it was another one I came across. I don't know. I just know that stevia is safe for me, so that's what I go with.
Mara, you take care of yourself, kiddo. And message me, or, if you want to message me your phone number, we can Marco. So you take care of yourself. Limoncello is absolutely delicious, but has a ton of sugar. Well, I could probably, use something else besides the sugar, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, Francine, my sister sent me a huge box of lemons. So I'm going to make my own dried lemon peel and whatever else I can figure out.
Jujube's starting to talk foreign in here.
Fishes and Loaves says it's different for everyone. Most people have pooping issues with the sugar alcohols. The funny thing is that Barrett, I had him go keto for a while, and he has like a horrible sweet tooth. He wants his ice cream and his chocolate and all that stuff. So I went and bought him a bag of those Russell Stouffer's turtle chocolates. And I told him, make sure you only eat one or two. And he was like, all right. Well, I left him alone. I shouldn't have left him alone. I came back into the kitchen. He'd ate that whole bag. The rest of the night, he was in the restroom. I said, I told you not to eat the whole bag.
Stevia should be fairly easy for you to grow in 7B, I would think.
Stevia, I've grown it. Yeah, stevia is very simple.
Yeah, stevia should be very easy to grow.
Hello, Smudge. How are you?
I have a really hard time starting stevia, but once it's started, it grows.
Hi, Smudge. Burp elsewhere, dog. Jeez. Good Lord. Oh, good. No, I still got some of it on my shoulder.
Hi, Dr. Prepper. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, cool, Green Witch. You can message me on Facebook if you want. I'd love to try it. Oh, see.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I can't say that word. I can never say it. That sweetener is it's highly poisonous to dogs, too, and other animals as well. Xylitol. There you go.
Yep, they were smudge kisses. Yep.
Hello, Skinner Farms.
He's loving the company around here because Andy just definitely dotes on him and pets him. Miss Emma, how you doing there, Sunny's Place? So, any other questions for Miss Jess? Do any of you guys use low-carb tortilla shells for pizza crust? I do. I use low-carb. I always have a package of the low-carb tortilla shells, and I make chips out of them.
Yeah. And I kind of do the same thing. I make my own homemade tortillas out of almond flour and pork rinds. And then if I want to make tortilla chips, I will make them out of that as well.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. I want to try.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yes, Andy, he is the dog. Yes. I'm really impressed that you noticed that. You like the stevia leaves, but not the stevia in the store. Yeah, it's funny how, even with mint, I love my fresh mint. But when you get them when they're dried in the store, it's just not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of folks, Caitlin, use their ovens for pot storage.
So the pure stevia does not have maltodextrin in it or any other additives.
Hey there, strong enough to bend. How you doing? You just want to grab his big face and kiss him? Oh, just make sure you wipe the drool off first. You'll learn. Oh yeah. Definitely. I use crushed up pork rinds. I put them in a mason jar, and I use them instead of breadcrumbs.
It depends on what I'm making. If I'm making breaded chicken or something like that, I do the pork rinds. But if I'm doing salmon patties, I'll use the almond flour. It fries up really good.
Okay, so
Well, it's 10 after 10.
yeah. So Jess, you got any special thoughts? Anything you'd like to share here yet tonight, or?
Just that I'm working on 400 watch hours. I'm almost to my goal. If anybody out there would like to subscribe and watch my playlist, I'd really appreciate it. And you'd also learn a lot of knowledgeable information.
Okay. And of course, everybody, I know that her channel's been put up here in the chat. Be sure you go check her out. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Watch a few videos. If you want to get involved in this, what is it, a cook-off?
It's a challenge. It's not a cook. It's a challenge.
Keto challenge thing that the girls have got going. By all means, it's always a fun thing to do that. Sherry, anything else?
No, it was a nice evening. I'm glad. Did you calm down after all this, Jess?
Yeah, I finally did.
See, it's not as bad as some people think. I mean, even when we first had Jess from Roots and Refuge, she was just a bundle of nerves. Mm-hmm. And once you get to chatting, it's just like talking to anybody else on the phone or sitting there at the computer. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I want to say a special thank you to all of our moderators out there. They always do a fabulous job. We love to have them. Thank you to those folks that stopped in tonight. We haven't seen in a while. It's very good to see you again here tonight, and please drop back in. Have a live stream tomorrow night, another one on Thursday.
And next Monday, our guests are Pathway Homestead.
Pathway Homestead will be our guest next week. So, anything else?
That's it.
That is it, I guess. All right.
It was a fast hour.
It has been a fast hour.
Yeah.
So Jess,
and Barrett behaved himself.
I know, I can't believe it.
Jess, I just feel that I have to remind you that an orange is a berry, but a strawberry isn't. Take care, everyone. Have a good evening. Good night.